Welcome to The Body Talks with your host, Chloé Dall'Olio. And here we go.
Here we go.
Welcome, Hoda.
Thank you for having me. I'm so privileged to be here with you today. Thank you.
I am so privileged to be here with this amazing, fantastic person. I'm Chloé Dall'Olio. We are here on The Body Talks. We are here at Mango Studios, and this is Hoda Ali. Before we start, a little housekeeping in terms of audio description for the ones of you who are not able to see us today. Hoda, would you like to describe yourself?
I'm Hoda M Ali, the giraffe. You could call me the giraffe. I have many different names, but I'm Hoda Ali, the safeguarding consultant, always fighting for women and girls' rights. And also, what goes with the giraffe is I've been called the vagina woman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank
and
you.
also co-founder of the Ventures and a former nurse of infectious diseases. So, like I said, I do many things.
I love that so much, and I cannot wait to dive into all these topics in our conversation today. Audio description, you are wearing this most amazing, gorgeous gown that, as you said, you designed it and is bringing up your dad's legacy.
Somalia is big, and we have many different tribes. So each tribe is about the clothes that you wear, the way you wrap your hair, your headscarf, the way you dress. Actually tells you what part of Somalia you're from. So my father is from Mogadishu. He was born in Mogadishu, and they wear what's called guntimo. So guntimo normally is just a long material that you knot on the side, so you have your arm showing this way and then just wrap around it, similar to sari without having the top, right? It's because you make the top and then it's long. Also Sudanese wear it. Sudanese people also wear it. Yes. And then this other one, so this material is the dera material, and in the north where my mom is from, and also in Djibouti, they wear it with both hands. So this like this, but with both hands. So yeah. So those of you who are watching from Mogadishu, you know I'm wearing kuntimo. But those of you watching maybe from Somaliland or Djibouti, you will see it's a derak material, but sewn as a kuntimo. And yes, I do design all of my clothes, including my bikinis.
That is incredible. Well, you look stunning.
Thank
you. I'm a tall, white, curvy woman wearing a two-piece denim. This is from Shani Dwyer, who's an amazing queer designer, and I'm so proud to wear this. And yes, this is us for the ones of you who can't see us. For the ones of you who can see us, the beauty in this room is all off the roof. And we can now start.
Yeah. And if I could just add, I think clothes and the way you feel as well.
Yeah.
We're not like my grandmother used to say that don't let the clothes wear you. Mm-hmm. You wear the clothes, right? Yes. So I could be literally wearing a bin bag, right? As long as I feel good. So it's really important to make sure wherever rocks your world that morning when you're leaving your house, it could be tracksuit, it could be me wearing a dera or you wearing this beautiful two-piece. It's about how you feel. So enjoy, and don't be scared to wear color in middle of December, because I will be that girl in wearing yellow and orange, running for the tube while it's snowing outside.
I love that. Yeah. Ditto. I love your hair, Hoda.
Oh.
And oh my God, can you describe a little bit for the ones that can't see how gorgeous is your hair with these golden pieces in it?
Thank you. I do my hair every morning. I don't go to hairdresser to do my hair. The only time I ever get my hair done is if I'm on holiday. And normally I like to have plaits, so it's easier because I love swimming and snorkeling and diving and all of that. But yeah, I do my hair. Again, I'm from Somalia, so I've been blessed with a lot of curly, soft hair. So yeah, I do my hair. But today we have a little bit of The front, we just brush it forward and put a little bit of jewelry piece, and I tied it all of my hair at the back, and I just put a little bit of extension at the top. That gives me that oomph, you know.
We are loving the oomph, Hoda.
Yes.
Ooh. Okay, so it's tradition for our The Body Talks episode to start the conversation with a little body scan. A body scan is a little mindfulness practice where I ask my guests to close their eyes and we do 3 big breaths together. And I also invite all of you listening and watching us to do the same if you feel like it, if you are in a position, if you're not driving, and if you're safe to do it, to just relax with us and get into your body so you will be more connected with yourself and with us and with the conversation. Absolutely. So I'm going to invite you to close your eyes, all of you. I will do the same. I'm doing the same. And I'm going to guide us to inhale for 4, have a 4 seconds break, so hold your breath, and then release in 8 seconds. So inhale for 4, hold, 4, and exhale really slowly. And again, inhale 1, hold, and slowly exhale. And one more time, inhale, hold, and the longest exhale you've done today. Keep your eyes closed. I'm going to guide you through different parts of your body and invite you to notice if you have any sensations, any tingling, any message from any of the part of the body. Sometimes we don't listen to the body because we are always in a rush. But now, starting from the head, the crown, I invite you to just connect and see if anything is telling you anything, whispering you anything. We go down, then temples, the mouth, the jaw, and then the neck. We connect, then going down to the shoulders, the arms, maybe it's the breast area. We go down and there is all the belly, all the stomach, anything inside our uterus. And then we go down is the pelvic area, down to our legs, down the ankles and the feet. And I leave a few seconds again to just in silence connect and hear if there is anything coming up. And if so, feel free to let us know and share with us. Is there any part of your body, Hoda, that wants to say anything or has a message for you?
I think my neck and shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
I think we carry a lot of weight. And just when you pay attention, just, yeah.
Thank you for sharing. We can come back to the room whenever you're ready. Because if there is anything else that comes up, take your time to notice it, and eventually, if you feel called to, share it.
Wow. It's amazing how when you pay attention to your body for like less than a minute, how much it changed. Look at my eyes, like I can't even open my eyes now. It's amazing. Thank you.
What changed? How are you feeling?
I think is we just always run. We always, we're always doing something. Like from the moment we wake up, you're planning where I don't need to go, the time, and just stopping for a second, just paying that attention to your body and listening is amazing. Because right now, see, even my voice changed.
Oh my
And I'm the
God.
loudest human you ever meet.
And I have goosebumps because I feel like we connected to an even deeper level.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you came in today, you were telling me that your long morning, you were rushing here and there, helping everyone as usual, supporting, being your best self.
Yeah.
And now there is a moment for you to reconnect and to share from the heart,
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being open and vulnerable with us.
Thank you for having me. And thank you for opening these doors for all of us and the ones behind us as well.
Which is what you're doing with your job and with your work in general, with your presence in the world. And I love how you introduced yourself earlier. Hoda is an amazing activist. Nurse, you've been a nurse for a long time. Not sure if
nurse.
yeah. For how many?
Former nurse now. 10 years.
Former nurse. 10 years of nursing profession.
Yeah.
Co-founder of the Vavenger, that is a survival-led charity.
Yeah.
Determined to raise awareness and end FGM, and survivor of female genital mutilation. You touched a lot of people, and you are sharing the message and raising awareness in a way that is like incredible. I mean, where did it all start? I mean, we're talking about the body. I know female genital mutilation is about a specific part of the body. You also introduce yourself as, what do you say, the vagina woman?
Yeah.
I'm wondering whether you feel confident in sharing your story and from your childhood and what brought you to be able to be here with us today sharing.
Right. Let's talk about where it all started, right? It started, I was born in East Africa, in Somalia, and especially the part now known as Somaliland, which is the British colonized part of Somalia. And female genital mutilation is something that happened to every single woman that I know, like everyone. I didn't think it was something just happens to certain people. So I remember going to school, by the time I was like 5 years old, 6 years old, I would go to schools, speak to my friends were like, you didn't have a gudnin. So actually gudnin in Somali is circumcision. So Somalia, they don't call female genital mutilation. Female genital mutilation is a Western world of explaining what it is.
Oh, okay.
But a lot of countries, they actually call it female circumcision.
Okay.
But we don't use circumcision here, which we'll talk about it later, why we don't use that, especially for medical reasons. But yeah, it was gudnin. Like, you haven't had gudnin, so you have not been circumcised, you're not clean, we're not going to play with you. And I would run home every day from school and say to my Mom, when is it my turn? When am I going to have gudnin? She's like, you're not old enough yet. And I remember that day. And first of all, the cutters, the women who do female genital mutilation, they call it the cutters. They are not doctors, they're not nurses, they're not midwives, they know nothing about the human body. But this is a job they inherited from their grandmothers, from their great-grandmothers. This is how they pay their bills. This is how they actually feed their children and all of that. So it's a job to them. So that woman, I remember, she was very famous woman in that area. Also perform FGM on my sister, older sister, who is 17 years older than me. So by the time she came to us, she was a really like older lady, but she's like, I can do FGM with my eyes closed. Yeah. So I remember the day before we had a big party, and I always talk about this. Like everybody knows my story a lot of the times when I talk about it. I remember it was the first time I got a watch as a gift, and we had henna done the day before. It was like a party. It's like a birthday party or something like that in the Western world, right? We had our hair done, and I got up the next morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, thinking we celebrated yesterday, so something we're celebrating for, not knowing what was in store for me. And that was the day of the cutting. So I woke up at 6 and I went to my mom's room and I was like, Mom, is she here? And Mom was like, it's too early, go back to bed. But you know, you're a child. I was 7 years old. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
She came, and again, people will always look culture and different. And now the days that we are living, you see a lot of, when people see Somali women, they see them wearing, you know, the black and abaya or something. We never used to wear that. What I'm wearing is how I grow up. Like all the women, they didn't cover their hair, or you know, some of them they did and some of them they didn't. Like we wear colorful thing, but this woman came wearing all black. Black abaya, black hijab and everything. And I remember her looking at me in the eye and she said, be strong for your younger sister, do not cry, and don't make her scared. I was like, okay. Yeah, because what they do is they cut the younger ones first and the older ones go after, right? So normally community, they talk to each other and they like, you know, they decide one day. So it could be 10 girls being cut at the same day by the same woman. What was different with my family, my father never wanted us to go through female genital mutilation. But my mom decided. Why she decided? She was a survivor herself. Her mother was a survivor. My great-grand, all the women before me was also survivors. So if she didn't do that to us, we wouldn't have friends in school. We wouldn't even go to school because you are ostracized. I think that's the word, ostracized, right? Like the whole community disown you because you did not cut your girls. So that's why my mother did it, thinking it was good for us. And that's how it happened. And I remember she came, my mother said, no, I'm not going to get all the girls being cut with you guys. So she paid her extra money for her to come to our house and do it just to me and my sister. So there was no one else, okay. Right? Oh my God. Like, do you know, the more I talk about it, is the more I also remember certain things. I remember also when we were cutting, the windows were open in our house. And I remember my friends were outside waiting for us. Because they knew what was happening. So you just look, and I could see they were all waiting. And when they're waiting, to celebrate, because when that woman walks out the house, they're going to be like, oh, la, 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 because now you are a woman.
And you are clean.
You are a woman, you are clean. Now everything that I know.
Goosebumps.
But also, what do you know about 7-year-old? What do you know to be a woman at 7-year-old? What is actually even being a woman means at 7-year-old? All I wanted to do is to go to school and every Friday go to the beach and get some fish, you know? So yeah, and there are 4 types. I think it's important we explain that as well. There are 4 types of FGM. Type 1 is a cut or slit of the clitoris. A lot of places there's no stitch involved. Type 2 is sometimes total or partial removal of the clitoris, the labia minora, the labia majora. They pull their skin together and they stitch it halfway. So if there's any medical professional who might be watching this video today, women who had type 2, they might be able to examine her naturally. If she needs a catheter, they might be able to put a catheter. If she goes for semitase, they might be able to put a speculum, which is what they do when you have a semitase, because they partially closed.
Okay.
Right? Even though everybody's different, there is also type 1, 2, 3, and 4 in each category. So type 3, depending on who cut it. Type 2, it depends on who did the cutting. So sometimes it's a type 2, but they will still close the woman or that girl up.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's also important to know each type also is different depending on who cut it. Type 3 is what we had. Type 3 is total removal of the clitoris. the labia majora, the labia minora. They pull the skin together and they stitch it all the way down until they leave a little hole that is no bigger than matchstick. She will literally pick something to look if it's that small. Yeah. They expected now me to have my pass urine in that little hole. When I get my period, to pass my period in that little hole. And do you know what happens, Chloe? If I get married, the man have to open himself. He have to force himself to open her. That is the whole reason a female genital mutilation happened, to keep that girl virgin. And who is it showing? It is the man, because when they get married, he forced himself to open her. That is now proof to him she's virgin and she never slept with anyone else. This is the reality. I know some people is gonna watch this video or listen, and they're gonna come to us and they're like, oh, it's not so. I am the living proof. Anyone who have otherwise, please contact me, because I will talk to you through it. Seriously.
Wow.
The whole reason is to control your virginity, right? So we had type 3. 2 weeks, your legs are tied together. They have a little long string. They put it around your waist and they close it all the way down to your legs, to your ankles. So when you walk, if you walk like this. Because if you take a big step, the stitch comes out.
Oh,
if the stitch comes out, the cutter comes back. Cutter will check and she will do it again. So they tie your legs together. So you walk like this. So when I used to go to the toilet, I will walk, like you shuffle like this. Then I will have to lay down on the floor. That is how I used to go to the toilet for 2 weeks. You do wherever your auntie or my grandmother, or not my grandmother was not around, but my mom or my auntie, and a lot of the times it was my auntie who was with us, because my mom and dad would always travel. So we had a nanny. We grew up having a nanny who happened to be our auntie as well, and she looked after us. So you lay down on the floor. It's only then they will wash you and clean you. You go back to your room, they open the string, they clean more, they dry you, and then they close it all the way up. Because if you're sleeping also, you can move your legs. So if you move your legs, the stitch comes out. And that is what I had, type 3 FGM, at the age of 7 years old. And my sister was 6 years old. And she went first, and I went second. And everything went downhill from there. Because once I was cut, they said, oh, now you're a woman. The world is your oyster. A year later, civil war started in my country, where we start walking to the mountains to get away from the war. And now my legs were hurting because, the stitches is rubbing, right? And I didn't pay attention. I still thought that was good. I'm not going to lie. I actually thought that was something good to her. It was good to me. Now I'm a woman. They told me I'm a woman. Every woman around the world I thought had it. Looking at you, I thought every single woman. You could be in Italy, you had FGM. Could be in America. I thought every single woman around the world would have this. Yeah. And then, so that was, the war happened in the North Somalia. That's the first time civil war started in Somaliland. And then we went to Mogadishu. We started school again. We settled again. 2 years later, the civil war started. A week after the civil war started, I got sick. And when I got sick, I just had like abdominal pain. I didn't know what was wrong. I was in pain. Mom and dad keep me in there. I would sleep with them, and I couldn't sleep anymore after 3 nights. And this time the war was big. It was fight everywhere, like bombing. Like it was, people talk about refugees. That's another thing we need to talk about as well, because it's horrific. Like the things that our bodies carry.
Yeah.
And we don't realize it, right? Mm-hmm. Because for me, I didn't even talk about FGM. I didn't think about FGM. I just wanted to survive. I just wanted not to hear gunshots or bombing or bazookas arriving. And it was crazy. But that took me to a hospital. This hospital is called Source Hospital. It was run by Italian doctors for many years in Somalia. Because, you know, Mogadishu was colonized by Italian. You know, we always grow up with a lot of Italian. My aunties are married. My cousins are half Italian, half Somali. So it was that, but it was okay. So that hospital was a maternity hospital. It's called Source Hospital. Any Somali person from Mogadishu will know this hospital. And it was maternity and children hospital. I was the first person they ever admitted that who had complications of FGM. But they never thought I had complication. They just had ultrasound and they said, oh, she's got a cyst. We keep her 48 hours and see if the cyst is growing. And they realized, oh, the cyst is growing. We need to operate her now. It's only when they took me to the theater, they opened me up, they realized I had no cyst. It was my period that was accumulating inside. Because of the type 3 FGM I had, it had nowhere to come out. So from there, from the age of 11 to 17 years old, I've been in hospital. Every single doctor trying to just get my period naturally. So I had I was 3 operations in Mogadishu, and then the hospital got bombed. And I remember Dr. Graziella said, we need to take her out. And she said to my dad, Dr. Graziella is an amazing doctor who look after me. We're going to talk about a little bit later. And she said to dad, if you take your daughter to Djibouti, I will be there because we have same hospital in Djibouti. So take her there and I will be there. And that's what happened. And I remember running in a park with the stitches, trying to get this little plane my dad found that was taking people out of Mogadishu because of the war. And he took me there. And I remember the gunshots like going over my head. And I was just holding my stomach with the stitches and ran to this airplane and sat there. And 2.5 hours, with 2 hours I was in Djibouti. They never took me to my parents to see my mom because everybody left because of the war. And yeah, I was taken straight to the hospital. And Dr. Graziella was there waiting for me. And I was there again in that hospital. And I was there for about 2 years or so until they thought we can't help her anymore because we did all the operation. Her period is not, because every time they operated me, they would say, wait for your next cycle. Your next cycle is what? After 28 days, right? Nothing was happening. Ultrasound, they see a shadow. They're like, it's not happening. So that's how I came to Italy. They give us a visa. My parents, it took them 8 months to find the money because right now we also became refugees within our own country, running away from the war. My dad was head of the army, so that was another story as well. When I was in hospital, like, if I say that my dad is so and so, I could get killed as well. So I have to also become somebody else when I was in the hospital in Mogadishu while the civil war was happening. But yeah, so at the age of 16, we find the ticket, the visa came, and I arrived in Milan. And I remember the plane opened and it was sunny, thinking, oh my God, I'm in Europe. I told all of my friends I'm coming back, by the way. You know, I was like, I'm coming back. I'm just going just to get better. I'm going to come back home. I can't wait to see you all, guys. I just had my first boyfriend as well. and the airplane opened. Chloe, it was so cold. I looked at my dad. I was like, Dad, it is so sunny outside. Why is it so cold? And yeah, so that is how it was. And I was straight away from the hospital second time. I was taken straight to the hospital in Milan. And I was there for a year. And Dr. Graziella looked after me, all those nurses. I couldn't speak a word of any language other than Somali, right? But my dad speaks fluent Italian. He went to boarding school in Italy, right? So he was talking for me and everything. So they understand. I had my own little room. They take care of me. And the first time I had my period, I was 17 years old. I woke up one morning and it was blood everywhere in my bed. I called the nurse. She came. And she's like, Mamma mia! You know, she was like excited. I could see excitement in her. And I'm like, why is this woman laughing? I'm about to die. Like, what is going on? But also remember, I'm learning Italian. Like, whatever I learned from my dad, but with them, because now we kind of know each other, right? And she's like, Hoda, you just had your period. That was the first time.
Wow.
I had my period naturally. Yeah, I was 17 years old. So from the age of 11 to the age of 17, I have been in hospital 3 different countries, 2 different continents, and over 6 abdominal operation, countless operations, vagina operations, and yeah. So that is how it started. It's long, but that is
This is how it all started. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, while you were talking, I was thinking of like so many questions. Where to go next from here? I mean, what comes up? First of all, I want to acknowledge how much you shared and how vulnerable this story was. So thank you so much for being so generous.
Breathe.
My God.
Listen, I'm the luckiest girl alive. I am the luckiest. I'm here to tell you, as much as I smile, yes, it is heartbreaking, and there's a lot more heartbreaking to come.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm here today.
Yeah.
So
you are a survivor, and you are the luckiest girl
I am
alive.
the luckiest girl alive. Yeah.
And that's actually the name of the show that you've been. I actually went to see the show. It's a puppet show.
Yeah.
Where you actually, while you were talking, I was actually envisioning in my head the puppet show and how it was depicted, and the images of all these moments of your life, and my brain matched it with how the story was told through theater, through art, and it was incredible actually. Yeah. So how come did you decided to share this story also through the puppets? Like, meaning, yeah, I guess that it's could be a way of sharing something so deep and so hurtful in a way that is originally maybe more easier to understand, so people connect better.
Yeah. I think storytelling is important. You know, I'm in Somalia, and you know, all of East Africa is a land of poetry. I grew up reading poetries. I grew up going to the theater. We really didn't have cinemas. We had theater with proper play, you know. And our biggest famous singers from Somalia, those are the people we used to watch them. But they do it in a storytelling way, right? We call it ruwayat. Ruwayat. So it's a singing, it's the storytelling, it's building everything, right? So storytelling was important for me. It was something that I grew up with, you know. Every woman that I grew up, grandmother, Somalia, you know, full moon, that was when we were allowed to play outside late, because full moon, it is so bright. We don't have these street lights like we have here, right? So we used to see hide and seek. We used to see our own shadow for the reflection of the moon, you know? So those are the stories. So I think for me, the way it came out was also because of the activism work I did. So if I go back a little bit, is that in 2000, I think it was about 2005, I saw a lot of patients that when I wasn't a nurse, but I was still working in the hospital. And I see so many women that was coming with complications of FGM. And I didn't understand why the doctors did not understand what was happening to these women, right? And I start talking about it. And by the time I start talking about it and talking to one doctor, one consultant, this person, I met my best friend now. Her name's Leila Hussein. Please, guys, go and look up and see her, Dr. Leila Hussein. And if it wasn't for her, I don't think I would ever show my face, because I did the work behind the scenes. I didn't want anybody to know me and my story. So 2006, I met her, and she invited me one Saturday, because she's a therapist also, but that time she was just talking about FGM with young girls and stuff. And I remember just 6 Somali girls sitting around, some survivors, some are not survivors, and just told my story. And each and every girl was crying. And I didn't understand why they were crying, because I'm like, but it's okay, this happens, you know. I didn't think it's unique to me, right? It's something happens. Also, we have to remember there are over 230 million women and girls alive today who are survivors of FGM that we know, right? And it's many more millions we don't know. So it was important. So the fact that I'm from a country of storytelling and poetry, and then meeting them, I thought, I'm going to use my voice. And I was shy when I was younger. be surprised. But the older I get, the more I realize my voice. So at the hospital, I start training doctors. Junior doctors will come. Then I became a nurse. I start working infectious diseases, including sexual health nurse. And patients coming who was not sexually active for over 10 years. But the complaints they had about their body was actually to do with the FGM, like the urine infection, the thrush, the BV, there's all of these things that was coming with it. So if the GP just find out, they could have sent them to gynecologists. They could have sent them to the right department. So I'm seeing this woman, I'm like, I went through hospital since I was a little girl. Why are these women coming to these wrong places? So I just start using my voice within the department. 2013, Layla did a documentary. It's called The Cruel Cut, and it was by Channel 4. And I remember also, I know I just wanted to feel everybody to understand how the luckiest girl came up around, right? So in 2001, I moved from Sheffield to here, right? And I met my husband 8 hours. 12 hours after I moved in London, right?
Wow.
So that's why you see the play with Elvis. His name's Elvis. His name's Amin now. The only black Elvis I ever met. And I married him. So we met, and, that was 2001. And he didn't understand FGM. He never knew about what FGM was.
Right.
Right. So I have to explain. But before I explained to him, I got sick to the point I would start bleeding. I was going upstairs and I just bleed. So I want you to imagine, when I was 11 to 17, I couldn't get my period out. By the time I was 21, 23, it's like I will bleed so much to the point I become anemic.
Oh, wow.
So when I met Elvis, aka Amin, he took me to the hospital. I was like, where's the nearest hospital, right? So that is how we met. So that is how I have to explain to him. He was the first person. I have to explain to him what FGM was, and he couldn't. Also, I was learning English, because I couldn't speak a word of English when I came here. So that's how everything happened. So anyway, 2006, we got married. And we wasn't having children, because I'm like, I want to have a baby. What's happening? So we went to, of course, the gynecologist, the best place. I had one since I was 11. And they offered me IVF. And I remember I had the IVF. And for me, again, that was one of the hardest things that happened, because now I'm older, I'm like 28, 29 by this time, and I'm working in the hospital. I did not drive, so I used to take the injection at the back of the bus. I used to go right at the back of the bus, because when you take IVF medication, you have to take them the same time every day. So imagine I have to leave my house at 7 o'clock in the morning to get to the hospital, and 7:30 is my injection time. So I will always go right at the back of the bus, get ready, and inject myself. And it was always in the stomach, right? So I will wear something, even if it's cold. I have to make it. I just realized how to survive. I think for me, it was surviving mode. And I will do that every single day. And then, and the nose spray, because I have to do a nose spray, I have to do the injection, and I have to do the tablets as well. We got pregnant for the first IVF treatment. This is way before 23, yeah? I'm talking about 2000, before we did the cruel cut. And I got pregnant, and the day before my first 6 weeks scan, I miscarried. And I miscarried while I was taking a blood out of a patient. I was at work with my uniform and everything. And I miscarried. And my friend, and when I miscarried, those of you who are medical who might be watching this, there's something called adhesions as well, which is the scars that you get. And I couldn't get up. I was just holding my stomach like this. They took me to A&E, and then straight away they transferred me to the hospital where I had IVF, which is Central London. I'm not going to name them hospitals. And I ended up in intensive care unit. My organs were shutting down one by one. I could not drink water. It was like, if it goes down there, it will come back out. Literally, my organs were shutting down. I was in intensive care unit for 5 weeks. I had central line where they were feeding me here. I had NG tubes on my nose. And I survived. I actually thought I was going to die. And I survived. When I survived, guess what I said? I'm the luckiest girl alive. I'm going to have another cycle. They're like, you're too skinny. I'm 5'11". I was 45 kilograms when I came out that hospital. I said, I'm going to put weight back on and I'm going to come back and I'm going to do it again. Because you know why? I survived. This is how the luckiest girl alive is coming, right? So the doctor said, okay, we have 5 embryos frozen. Put weight on, get better, and come back. Chloe, the day of my transfer, none of my embryos survived. The 5 embryos, they frozen, and they froze them in different times. Not one of them survived. And I was like, okay. I looked, and the doctor said, Hoda, if we touch you to get another egg collection, because you know you have to give you medication and then you grow your eggs and then they harvest the eggs. It's crazy how we're talking about, but that's exactly what it is. She said, if we touch you, it can kill you. And before I could say anything, my husband said, no, my wife is not going to die for a child we don't have yet. So we're not having it. Because remember, they said if we touch you, it can kill you. I couldn't say a word. And the next thing I said, okay, what's my option? She said, surrogacy. You have to get somebody else's egg and somebody else to carry your child for you. Or you can adopt. And we looked at each other. We can adopt. Literally, like, without, it wasn't even in a spoken word. We just looked at each other. We're like, we're going to go for that one. Because remember, I came from a war-torn country. I seen how many children who have no parents. I seen coming to London, being in Sheffield. I seen children in care. I couldn't understand how children in Europe, in Western world who's so rich, how are children living in care? Like, I couldn't understand. So for me, all of these are connecting while the doctor is telling me I can't have my own child. And that is how everything came. And I was like, okay, I'm the luckiest girl alive. I always used to say, I am the luckiest girl alive. Then 2013, Channel 4 documentary came out. And I spoke to my husband. And the reason I didn't want to show my face was his parents are from the Caribbean. They're from Barbados. That who grow up, he was born in London. You know, I don't want people to know our business, you know?
No, yeah.
So I'm thinking if I'm on social media, we didn't have as much social media as now, right? But I always been silhouette. I did newspapers. So if you know me, you will know me. But I always did the silhouette.
Yeah.
Like, you see my name, but you will never see my face. So that day, I remember, I said, okay, I'm not going to show my face. I don't feel comfortable. I don't want everybody knowing my business. Mm-hmm. And he said, whatever you want, I support you. I said, thank you. I got there, and as I'm walking from the station, just I was walking here today, I thought, why am I hiding my face? Who am I hiding my face from? I just been told I cannot have my own child because of female genital mutilation. I've been talking about it. I want to make sure that I support and help. But why am I hiding my face? Somebody did this to me, right? I spoke to my mom. I spoke to my grandmother. Everybody said, no, it's not right. And we should never do it because it stopped me and my sister. No one after me and my sister was cut in my family, right? That moment, I decided I'm going to show my face. So that is how everybody start to know me because of the cruel cut. And then we were nominated for BAFTAs. It was part, yeah. Again, I was wearing my green direct. We went to the red carpet. It was fascinating. But it was fascinating to me to the point not being famous or being around famous people. It was fascinating to me that telling your story from the bottom of your heart to make a difference reaches way beyond your imagination.
Yeah.
And that was the day I decided I'm going to keep on going and I will never hide my face again. And that is how the luckiest girl alive has become also well known. So I met in 2016. It was Nikki, who is the young lady that I met. They came down from London, from Nottingham to London. and she wanted to tell my story. We met somebody. I met Jacqueline, I was a trustee for 28 Too Many charity, and that's how we all connected. So they were young. She was young. She's she was building these puppets. She wanted to tell their story. I was like, you can have my story. And that is how the Luckiest Girl Alive came. At first, it was just puppets, so 2017. But the one you went to came last year. We got some funding from the British Council, in Nottingham, also the theatre. And it was nice. So that's why you were able to see the real actors and also the puppets all in one. Wow. And anybody who wants to see it, I do have a YouTube. I actually put the video on YouTube, but I don't know how to advise. I don't know how to, what's the word? I don't advertise myself. I just put it there. So yeah, it's a collection of everything we did is on there. But hopefully we're hoping to get some funds to be able to bring back to London and also to take it back to East Africa. I really wanted to show the Luckiest Girl Alive in Kenya and in those communities. And it's the educational piece.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow. Yes, we're gonna put the link of the YouTube in the show notes so everyone can watch it. If you're listening to this story, I'm sure you're gonna be like, oh my God, tell me more. I want to support. I want to just know more. And that's how you do it. Maybe I also add on the show notes how people can support you or the cause or the Vavengers. So like you can give me afterwards some links and I'm gonna put them.
Oh, absolutely. So absolutely. And also people need to realize like this, now we are so lucky we have the internet. Like, it's just one click away to really find out things and to see what you can do and what you can support. And there's so much to do. So thank you. I mean, I really would love if you guys can help us to bring the Luckiest Girl Alive again into London. And that's the funds that we are looking for.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. No, I remember last time we spoke that you were telling me that, and I was like, I need to help you like sharing this because the show is amazing. You're amazing. People need to know. And you also, well, we can tell the way we met, but you also brought this awareness to my life because I didn't know much. I didn't know much about female genital mutilation before meeting you. Like I heard of it, but hearing it is different from having someone that you meet telling you the story. And so it's amazing the work you're doing because being yourself and sharing your own story and really helps survivals to reconnect with their body and maybe see their body and their body parts in a different way, and also helps people that maybe don't have anything to do with it but to actually be more aware and help as much as they can. So you're doing an incredible awareness work. Going back to, you mentioned the body keeps the score in the sense that not everyone is aware of the fact that the body, and probably also is connected with the miscarriage and the fact that your body was not able to give birth. Probably your body was keeping the score. Your body was remembering all the trauma that it went through. And on this topic of the body keeps the score, and on the topic of the fact that you sharing your story help other girls and women to reconnect and to maybe not make peace, but I mean everyone has a different experience, but reconnect with some parts of their body, and specifically from, I guess, this area of the body, but also the pelvical area, vagina, vulva. Do you feel confident in sharing what your relationship with these parts of your body are maybe now, or how the evolution of your relationship with these parts of your body? I think it's conversations that we don't hear much, and I think talking about the body now might be helpful if you feel like it.
Of course.
Do you feel confident sharing your relationship with your belly and your pelvic area and how that evolved from when you were a kid?
And I think that is so important to talk about, especially now seeing, about the body image and what women should look like, what girls should look like. And now also boys now, we see that. I think social media has changed the world, the way the world I grew up, right? We all different, First of all, we all different, and I think it's important to know that the way you look is the way you are made. Like, you might see somebody called Hoda, right? We only share the name. They can never be me. I can never be them. You might meet somebody called Chloé, right? You only share the name. That person is their own and you are. So it's important to let our future generation to know the way they are made is just perfect, right? Because if I wake up like this and I look the mirror and I'm like, I don't like what I see, who's going to change it? Where am I going to get another? This is all we have. And I think we, and it's Somali, but if I translate it to English, is I think what they say, your body is your temple. And it really is your temple because that's your home. That's your safe space. This is you, right? So for me, I'm very, very grateful. I never grow up in a world of body image. And I never grow up with my home, my mother, my grandmother. Nobody talked about anybody looking different. It was, you're beautiful, I was always told, I was always 5'11", I think by the time I was 11 years old. I was always taller than all the other children in this school. Hence why I was called giraffe, right? Giraffe, especially in Djibouti where my mother from, they speak French. It's like, shut up, right? But because we don't grow up with low self-esteem and stuff, nickname is just nickname. I'm like, oh, you call me giraffe? Okay, right? I came out the hospital. I never thought about that. Then I had all these operations. So I have 6 abdominal operations. So I have 3 operations this way and 3 this way, right? So I always call my scars my highway. I always say, like, when people look at my stomach and they see my scars, I say, that's my story. It tells a story, right? I don't look at it as a scar. I don't look at it as something that is ugly, right? But I'm coming to it where our mind can change a little, right? So this is me growing up. I came out of the hospital. I became a model. Can you imagine?
Yes, I can.
I literally just came out of hospital and I became a model, right? I did a little show in Milan. Then we left. I ended up in refugee camp, like I said earlier, in Holland, where I was living. I did some modeling until I decided modeling is not for me. Maybe I was cut from me. I think because my culture, my mom said, that's not allowed. And yeah, it was just one phone call because when I came and I was in the refugee camp, I wasn't able to speak my mom or dad all the time. I mean, my mom and my sisters all the time, right? Because again, we didn't have how we have like mobile phones and things. So I remember my mom sent me a cassette because my mom is a poet as well. She sent me a cassette with poetries and she said, oh yeah, and you said you're gonna be a model, you can go and buy a mother in supermarket if you can find one. I was like, huh? I can't find mother in a supermarket, so I walked away from model, but I don't regret anything, right? I really don't regret anything because for me is my life is being carved for me. Because if I was a model or if I become really high-end model, would I be doing what I'm doing? Would I become a nurse? Would I be speaking for all those girls I'm, speaking for or sharing my story? So it's really, everything happens for a reason. But when I was diagnosed with menopause, so at the age of 37, after IVF, they told me I can't have any more. And within 2 years, I became menopausal. Because my body temperature has never gone back to normal since I started the IVF treatment. I'm not going to say, and I don't want people to actually say, oh, well, IVF is cold. No, this is my own experience. My own experience is when I start IVF treatment, my core temperature changed. I was always either hot or cold, but more hot than cold. And then by the time I was 37, I was diagnosed with menopause. Now my body started changing because my mind started changing. I will wake up, I'm doing the same thing, right? I will wake up, I'm tired. I cannot get out of bed. I feel like I've been partying all last night in a nightclub. Came home at 5 o'clock in the morning and 7:30, I'm getting ready to go to work. No, I was sleeping from 8 o'clock last night. So it really is what it does to your body. Also, I love working out. I used to do 12-hour shift in the NHS, have my gym bag, go to the gym, do some exercise, get home at 10 o'clock at night, eat some food with my husband, go to bed, do it all over again. I was the happiest. Menopause is like you go in 100 miles per hour and you just brake. And you're stuck on that brake. Just imagine that.
Whoa.
And I'm 37. And I never grow up, anybody talks about menopause. Not my peers, not my colleagues, not my Western friends that who grow up here, not in Africa. No one talks about menopause. I actually wrote a poem I put the other day on LinkedIn. Everybody could go and see it. Literally, it was like breaks. So now I start realizing my body, right? This is where the difference comes. So now I'm going to the mirror and I'm like, what is, because now I'm tired, I'm not doing exercises, but also my body is changing. And when I say it's changing, it's the psychological change. But what I'm looking at, I'm like, what is this? Oh my God, I put weight on. Why is this dress not fitting me? Because I'm not even realizing this is what's happening, because nobody give me an advice of when you become menopausal, your body changes.
There are so many conversations.
So now I'm looking at these cars that I love so much, and I said, it's a highway. Now I'm like, what is this? Right? Because now instead of, I used to have a little six-pack, right? Now I'm looking, I'm like, there's no six-pack. All I'm seeing is these scars. What are these? So I have to all over again learn to love my body again. All over again. I have to see this girl and say, it's okay. I sent you a song this morning. Do you see that? Right.
Yeah.
Those are the songs I listen to sometimes, because I'm like looking at the mirror and I don't recognize the person I'm looking. So now, like I said, nobody's going to give me another body, right? So now, all over again, I have to learn how to love my body, which is where I am today.
Wow. Madness. So if you had to give some tips to anyone listening that also hit menopause and they are desperate to know how to start loving their body, what would you advise them to do? What would you do? What do you do?
If you feel like crying, it's okay to cry. Yes. First of all, I'm serious.
First of all.
Wallahi, I'll say wallahi. It's okay. It's all right. I think it's important as human beings and as a woman especially, our body do change. I look at my husband. His body is exactly how I met him. Right? That's the funny side of it. But no, in reality, there will be days that you feel like, I don't know who this is. I don't recognize you, right? Or there's days that you will wake up and you're like, okay, this is what I have to work with. It's okay. It's all right. Just have good friends. I really do believe having a good sisterhood surrounding that you could cry with is important. But it's all right. If you wake up in the morning, just look at yourself and just say, this is how I feel today, but I'm the best. There's no one like me. That's why I say to myself, there's only one Hoda. There's no one like you. And tomorrow is another day. You are the luckiest girl alive. And go and kick ass.
Go and kick ass.
Yeah. But it's okay to feel down though. It's all right.
Yeah.
Wow.
So inspiring. So inspiring. Wow.
It's okay.
Wow.
Breathe. It's okay not to be okay as well.
Wow. No, it absolutely. And again, as you said, with social media, like everyone is trying to change their body to look like someone else, and it's just an amazing reminder that like the best person you can be is you, you know, accepting yourself and loving the features that you are gifted with and everything you grew up with. So okay, because you started looking at your body as a vessel for life, because you survived, so you were able to appreciate what kept you alive, really. So that is like a gift that you give to yourself in a way. It's incredible. And Okay, I have different questions, but maybe...
Go on.
Well, go on. Hmm. Okay.
There's nothing you cannot ask me.
I know. Yeah. I mean, I don't know whether... I don't know whether it's respectful or not, because... Yeah.
But again, what is respectful?
I know.
Because, like, for us as a human being speaking to one another, we shouldn't have any boundaries, because
That's so true.
and if you don't ask me, maybe it's something I wanted to hear, right? But then you're limiting yourself because you're thinking, is it okay to ask this? And it's not okay. I think that as a human being, if we have a question, we should ask.
Yeah.
But also read the room, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying reach out to everybody. Just read the room. If the person feels certain way, I think we should be able to ask any question. And there's a lot of interviews that I did, or a lot of places that I went, and I always say, like, if I'm not feel comfortable, I just say to the person, I don't feel comfortable talking about it. But again, I think as a human being, we shouldn't limit ourselves. We should just ask the question.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I'm interested in, because I don't know enough of the medical side of things. And so when you like have surgery to, I don't even
Reopen?
Yes. So
Right.
are you able to reverse the circumcision, or are you kind of like helping your vagina or vulva to, as you said, reopen, so you can... How does it work? Like, how can this operation and all the support you gave as a nurse help survivors?
So it's called the infibulation. So when I talked about type 2 and type 3, that all these stitches, right? So the infibulation here, and actually we do have in FGM clinics, actually 11 of them in London alone, but we do have NHS clinics just specialized for FGM. The infibulation. So the infibulation is just reopening where the stitches are. There is no reversal, because nobody can bring back the skin, that the body, because your body is being cut. Like your clitoris, your labia minora, your labia majora is being cut away. So nobody can bring that, but it's just to make life easier. So like me, it was the infibulation to reopen the vagina so you can have you can pass urine, you can have your period. And also if woman gets pregnant, because there's a lot of women who do get pregnant with type 3 without having intercourse. It's just, that little sperm can just swim through. And doctors need to do that, and which is why we actually campaigning a lot more about more medical intervention with women who have FGM, so they can be reopened before they're about to give birth, so they don't have to have cesarean. But yeah, it's called the infibulation, and it's just to make things life easier, because a lot of the women and girls who have FGM, especially type 2 or type 3, always prone to have urine infections, and thrush and stuff, because the skin is being closed, so they can't clean properly, so they just reopen it just to make life a little bit easier. But there is no reversal. What's been taken away is gone. Yeah. Also, type 4, I didn't explain type 4 earlier. Type 4 also is stretching the labia. There's a lot of countries they stretch. They don't cut anything. So they start from a baby up to 5-year-old, and they will just stretch. And as a human, the softest part of your body is here, which is similar to the labia and the labia minora. So they break the tissue every morning and every evening. They break it, stretch it, and they leave it, and they call it its beauty. So the longer abnormal labia these women have, it is the more they desire whoever it is that, because it's always for the husband. But let's not forget about the UK. Everybody who knows Harley Street also performs female genital mutilation. They just made it legal. You know why? Because they put it under the cosmetic. So designer vagina, have you heard of it?
No.
Have you heard of a labiaplasty?
Yeah.
So labiaplasty is designer vagina. Labiaplasty is basically FGM. But because you are an adult, you can give and permission. Yeah, labiaplasty is FGM.
Wow.
Because it's trimming and cutting of the labia minora, labia majora, sometimes even trimming the clitoris for cosmetic reasons. Oh yeah.
Wow.
By the way, one more thing to even make you. Oh, now you're making me. Now I'm gonna get up, right? If me and you go to Harley Street today,
Yeah.
and we both want to have a labiaplasty,
Yeah.
one of us they will say yes, and one of us they will say no. Which one of us do you think will have it done? Let me put my glasses on. 3, 2, 1. Which one of us do you think will have it labiaplasty in Harley Street? Me or you? Just say. One of us is allowed and one of us is not allowed. I can see your eyes going.
I'm like, can you answer this, you listeners?
Shall I say it for you?
Yeah, please.
You will be allowed to have it done. I wouldn't.
But why?
Why? Because I'm from practicing community of FGM and you are not. So now make it make sense, people. Make it make sense, please.
Wow.
Yeah, because you are a white woman.
Yeah.
Sorry to say that, my best friend.
That's okay.
You're white. We're both adult, but because you are white and you're not a country who practice female genital mutilation, you're allowed to have labiaplasty, which is type 4 FGM.
Okay.
But if I go, they will ask my history. They will know I'm from Somalia. I'm from practicing community that practice FGM. They wouldn't do it. So how does that make sense?
And it's not like to avoid recreating the trauma because you had to do it. It's more like they decide for
that
you.
doesn't
really.
matter. If I decided, because not every single woman Somali have gone through FGM. I might not even had FGM. Imagine if I didn't have FGM, I still wouldn't be allowed because of my background. And to me, this is one of the things really, really makes my blood boil in this country. That is the double standard.
Yeah.
Right? And to me, it's the young girls that behind us. When I was working in the NHS, and this is, it's been 7 years since I left, right? Young girls as young as 15 was being referred to Harley Street to have labiaplasty. Why? Because they will go to their GP and they will complain about they don't like how they look. Why? Because their boyfriend, and I'm talking about girls in secondary school, their boyfriend said, "You don't look cute there." Why? Because boys also have access to pornography. And pornography also, a lot of the porn stars go and have vagina designer. So these boys are thinking what they're watching in a pornography is what every single woman should look like. So these girls are coming to the GP. The GP is referring them to a specialist. The specialist is referring them to Harley Street. So what message are we giving? Now that is my problem. I don't mind anyone who is old enough to say, "I want to cut my hand off." Go ahead if that's what you want to do. I want to fix my nose or my hair. Go ahead. That is, you're adult enough. You can afford it. But what message are we sending to these children, right, who have no way out other than the pornography, online, and now having depression based on how they look?
Yeah.
What happened to showing children and just the way that we all look different?
Yeah.
Even twins look different. You think our private part is going to look the same? So that is the problem I have.
Yeah.
And so if me and you go to Harley Street, you can have it done, darling, but I'm not allowed.
Yeah, that is crazy. And these are the conversations that need to happen, actually. I've never heard that. Like, I didn't know that. So thank you again for sharing this insight. And it's a good food for reflection for everyone listening to this. And again, another food for reflection is what you said about we're all different, which goes back to what you were saying earlier. You share Hoda name with many people, but who you are and what you look like is unique to you, and it's your vessel, and it's your biggest gift. So
Yeah.
We just need to remember that we're all different, and we just need to appreciate what we carry every day, because what we carry keeps us alive. Absolutely.
This is all you have. No one else. You cannot go to the shop and change it.
No. You just need to learn to love it, or
You
at least
have
to
to.
appreciate it.
You have to. And I think that also this is why we have a lot of depressions and, a lot of sadness around women's bodies because of what we see and is teaching, especially young girls, not appreciating their body, because this is all they looking. So they're not really looking inside. They're not really looking at what is beautiful about them, right?
100%.
Because each and one of us are special, like I said, right? There are girls, their hands are their model hands.
Yeah.
That's how they pay their bills. There are girls who just go and use their voice. There's so many different things, but just remember, this is the body you have. Learn to love it and learn to make sure that anyone who steps on it or try to step on you, you just tell them, go back a bit. I'll think about you after.
That is incredible and super inspiring. So please, everyone, remember what Hoda just said to you, because it was very, very important. Hoda, we have to wrap. I would carry on talking about this for hours. Oh, there is so much to talk about. Maybe we do an episode 2 and we carry on. Maybe we take some questions from the listeners. I would love to do that. And then we go back and we're like, oh, they're asking about that.
Yeah.
Because to me, like, after hearing everything you're saying, like, so many questions, and I'm like, okay, I'm also shaping this conversation, and I know there is a time limit, but there is so much that once someone opens their heart, sharing their story comes up with curiosity, with like, I want to learn, I want to support. But I think already listening to Hoda, look at the resources we're going to share, connect and study and research and be active and support the communities, and start really connecting with your body and appreciating what you've got. I think that's probably a few of the messages that came today.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's important everybody to know that you are not alone.
Yeah.
You wake up in the morning, you might be going through something, or something happened during the day, or when you go into bed. Just remember, you're not alone, and there's always somebody out there who will listen, who will appreciate you. So just speak up. Don't be silent. I think being silent with your own thoughts, and especially if it's a negative thoughts, it really takes a lot away from your body and mind. So share it. Like, there will always be somebody closer to you. So please speak up, and please speak also those around you. If you are, you past this, and you got all of this, there's always people also who need your help and support. So please own it, speak for yourself, stand for yourself, and just remember, you are perfect. Like, there's no one else more perfect than
you. Absolutely. Yes.
It really, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And if you don't feel comfortable sharing with the person next to you, write in the comments of the podcast, of the episode, like, however, questions, how you're feeling, and then we're going to pick it up and just be there for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
One more.
Yes.
How do we met?
Oh my God,
we didn't talk about that. I know you're going to
I know we were wrapping up. Okay. So how we met, you ask? In the most unexpected way possible. So I was in London. My dad was visiting. We were under this arches in central London. And then I turned around and you and my dad were chatting. So tell me, what happened there? I was like, hi, do you know each other? What?
That was so funny. Yeah, I was skipping through with my green dress and boots, and I was actually going to meet some friends.
Yeah.
But this is why that's why I'm saying it's important to speak and to be open-minded no matter where you are. If you are introvert or extrovert, like we are extroverts, right? I think I am anyway.
Yeah.
But seriously, it's important because I walked past your dad and he said hello to me, or he said ciao, something like that. And I'm a daddy's girl. Like, I'm literally my father's daughter, right? And we stopped and I said, where are you from? And he said, from Italy. I said, I love Italy. And as we were saying that, then you came and you're like, did you know each other? I was like, no. And then I looked and it's like, my daughter. And the rest was history.
The rest was history.
Yeah, and then you did that quick video for me that day of looking Dr. Graziella.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I didn't follow her, but I'm definitely going to follow it up, and I have to go and find that lady. And
yeah,
and now look where we are today.
absolutely.
I have a sister from another mother.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, because we started chatting. You told me the story and why you were so connected to Italy. And then quickly I was like, okay, let's pick up the phone. Let's share your message as much as I can. So you shared your message. That was a mission. And then,
we did find her.
And we did find
her.
her.
We just didn't find her contact number.
Exactly. So the followers found the doctor, found the hospital and everything. We didn't have a phone number or an email yet. So our mission next is go and knock at the door and see if Graziella comes out in Milan. So whenever we are able to travel together to Milan, we're going to just knock at Graziella's door because we know she's there. And the rest is history. Exactly. We became friends. And then I have this also personal mission to try and help you find Graziella, but also just sharing life and just like be each other's, I don't know, light.
I think the energy, you know, and I'm big. As older I'm getting, it's the more now I'm getting energy as well. I'm feeling energy more. And so that positive energy. And we're here. And we're here. You know, and you have me for the rest of your life.
Oh my God. How lucky. I am the luckiest girl alive. Not you. I'm joking. Because I have you. No, but you. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And that's your other. Shall we show everybody?
Honestly, the oud. Oh my God, I can't.
This is called the Pearl of Bahrain. No, it's called Bahrain Pearls.
Bahrain Pearls.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So this just arrived from Dubai. So I got my own and you got yours now.
That is crazy. We put a little bit of oud everywhere before recording. And this, I am so grateful. Oh my God, it smells amazing. Okay, well, to finish off, we redo the exercise. Okay. So we wrap up doing another 3 big breaths, and then we reconnect with the body, and we see if the body wants to say one last word, and then that's it. So I invite everyone again to put yourself comfortable if you're not driving. So if you're just like able to just have some more, if you're driving, you can still breathe, but without closing your eyes. And we do 3 big breaths together. So we start from the first one, we inhale, we hold, 2, 3, 4, and we exhale for 8, very slowly. We inhale for 4, 1, hold, and slowly out. And third and last, inhale for 4. Hold. And the longest breath, exhale that you've had today. And with your eyes closed, if you had to quickly scan your body from the head to the toes, I'll give you a few seconds, reconnecting with all the body parts, the head, the shoulders, the neck, the breast, the back, our belly, chest, our pelvic area, legs and feet. And keeping your eyes closed. How are you feeling now? How is your body feeling right now? Is there any message coming through for you?
I think this is amazing, and the message is just take time to listen to your body, at least 5 minutes a day.
How's your shoulders feeling?
Better.
Thank you, Hoda.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for listening and being with us on this journey. Big hug to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. That was so good. God, baby. That was amazing. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes.
Wow.